Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday Talks. Today we're having a Glisten Takeover. Yes. So excited. Yes. Yay, we have our Glisten conference coming up in a week and a half, October 15th. So excited about that. But hey, if you're a guy and you're watching, don't click off because listen, I want you to invite all the girls in your life, all the ladies in your life. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your daughter. If you're in middle school and up, we would love for you to be here. If you're a woman or a young girl, we just really want to create an atmosphere where all of us can experience generationally the presence of God together. And just so you know a little bit about Glisten, I started Glisten. I was trying to count. I mean, I think it's been it's at least 15 years. I kind of backtracked and wrote down the titles of every single year that we've had a conference and our conference titles. But the way that it got started was I had started a women's ministry when we first started our church 18 years ago. And we were having these gatherings and we were having these themes. And I was just like, this is not it. This is not what I feel like the Lord wants to do. And so I just stepped back and took a break. And I'm like, Lord, what do you want to do with our women? And the Lord reminded me of the story of the woman at the well. And the woman at the well, you know, she was searching for something. She was searching for relationship after relationship after relationship, and she thought she was going to find what she was looking for in those relationships, but she came up empty every single time, right? And so, you know, there's a well that we all are searching for, whether that's a bag or a bottle, a pill, an achievement, a degree. Like it can be good things, seemingly good things that we try to fill our lives with. And so I just really got something out of that story, and I thought, you know what, we all do that as women. You know, we can get isolated, we can get inundated, we can have all these things coming at us, and we're like, I need relief or I need something more. And we reach for all these different things when Jesus said, but if you will thirst after me, you'll never thirst again. You'll be satisfied. And so what I did was I was like, okay, Lord, well, how does that apply? Like, how can we do this at the church? And the Lord just gave me this vision because what she did was she received Jesus, but then she turned right back around and went out into the city and told everybody she knew all about Jesus. And so she became, in essence, the water pot. Like she brought a water pot. She didn't leave with the water pot. She dropped the water pot and went out and told everybody about him. It's like she was carrying the water, you know, with her, the living water. And so what I did was I created, along with our amazing team, this event where we can experience God, but then we also pour back out. And so every year we give to an organization, whether that's human trafficking. This year we have a new organization we're going to give to, so you'll find out about that when you come. But it's going to be great. And so that's how I started Glisten. And really the goal and the mission is to help women experience God and get connected to one another in relationship. Because when we're connected in relationship with one another, we realize I'm not alone. I'm not the only one experiencing what I'm going through. There's somebody else that has experienced what I've experienced, and maybe they're a little bit ahead of me. You know, there'll be some people in my group that are maybe a little bit ahead of me and can offer me some wisdom. And maybe there's some people that haven't experienced what I'm going through, but they're gonna. And I can hopefully help them, or somebody in the group can help them with what they're going through. And we can really find freedom from the enemy and feeling shame and guilt and feeling like we're all alone. So that's what Glisten is all about. So I'm so happy to have Miss Emily and Miss Amy with me. And I want you guys to tell me, you guys have come to Glisten for a few times, so tell me when's the first time you came to Glisten, and tell me about your experience.
Well, for me, I came the first time in 2019, which was our extravagant Glisten conference. And so what was funny is my first Glisten conference, when I walked in, I didn't know what to expect. And I remember walking into the lobby and being like, wow, this is extravagant. Like, this is like awesome. Just seeing women empowered, but also too, just like the photo booth, just all the fun stuff that we as women get to like celebrate together and be empowered. And so like, I really thought that, you know, I walked in and I was like, this is the perfect one, because the wow was there. And then also too, just it was about how great and extravagant the love of God was that year. And so just to me, it was so crazy because I was in a season as a fiance. I was going to start my marriage in a few months from then, and just like learning about love and how to express love and receive love was just such a timely thing in my life. And so it stuck out to me greatly, and it impacted me in my relationships. now and in the future, I know for sure. So yeah.
So good. How about you, Emily?
Mine was 2018 SOAR, and I was just so encouraged on multiple levels throughout the whole weekend. It was a 2-day conference, I believe, that year. One, I don't remember what it was, but I remember the very first night you had shared your testimony, and a lot of people had never heard it before. And I remember I had taken the middle school girls, and we were having our own breakout session just about what it looks like to take the mask off, because in essence, that's what you were sharing about. And I remember walking out of the lobby because I had to go grab something, and you were still up on stage sharing at this point, but there were women weeping in the lobby, like just finding freedom and finding breakthrough from things that they've likely held on to for so long. And I was like, man, this is what it's about. Because I think so many times as women, we can feel looked over. We can feel like we're not good enough. We can feel all sorts of shame, condemnation, feel like we're the only one walking through certain struggles. And so to hear women to see women realize that weekend that they weren't alone, I was like, man, this is powerful. Like, I not only want to come back every year, but I want to invite more people to come experience what I am seeing firsthand being experienced and what I experienced myself. Like the whole weekend was just so powerful for me, and just to see other people as well, just be set free to be who God has called them to be. So that was my first experience with Glisten, and I loved it. And every experience that I've had with Glisten since then, I feel like it just keeps getting better and better. And you're like, how? But it does. So I'm so excited for this year.
I feel that way too. I feel like it does get better every year. One of the things that I love about Glisten is I do want to empower women, and it takes a really big team to put on an event this big. Like it takes our entire staff, it takes our dream team to put it on. But I love seeing women get excited and use their gifts and talents, because we do have so many things to offer. Like we have our food trucks. We have this year, we're going to have all kinds of fun things that are surprises for everyone, but we'll have some different opportunities for them to have fun. So we'll have some merchandise that they can purchase, like we love to shop, right? And, and shopping with a purpose is always good.
Spiritual gift.
Yes. And we have a photo booth, and we have a surprise gift for everyone that comes. We have some different beauty opportunities. We're going to have games. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have food. Like it's just going to be a really great time. But I love seeing women be able to serve in their gift. Like I wouldn't even know some people had gifts that they had, except for when they're like, oh, we're doing this. Well, I can make this, or I can create this, or let me greet, or let me be on the prayer team, because I love to pray for people. So it takes all of our teams, and I love seeing women step into their purpose.
Yeah.
And as I look back over the years, I was thinking about some of my favorite experiences. I remember one, I think was called a royal wedding or something like that. And we had, we did these headbands for each other that we gave, and we had the ladies turn to one another, give the headband to each other, a crown, basically crown the other person, and speak some life affirmations over them, just like saying what God says about you, maybe not what you say about you. Yeah. I very highly underestimated how powerful that moment would be, because women were in tears just hearing life spoken over them. Yeah. Because you think about, you've got your own self speaking to you, usually not always positive. We don't always speak to ourselves in a positive way. So the negative voices that you listen to all day, and just to have somebody else look you in the eye and say, you know what? You are chosen. You're enough. Yes. You were made for this. Like they were just speaking affirmations. So that was one of my favorite memories. And I was just thinking of and then another one that I had that was very touching was one year we had a lady who had just started coming to our church. She came through Next Steps. She was so excited about being on a team. She had her Next Step stuff actually in the back of her car, and she was in a tragic car accident. Wow. And she passed away. Wow. However, it was right before Glisten, and she had already purchased her ticket and also had purchased tickets for some of her small group. Wow. And so we had an honorary row for her small group and an honorary seat for her at the conference. And I just thought, how amazing is God? Like that he first of all, that she came to know Jesus. She came to church. She came to know Jesus. She went through Next Steps. She was excited about coming. So excited that she went ahead and paid it forward. She'd already prepared the way for other women to experience God. Wow. So those are some of my favorites. But of course, I love all the fun and all the games and all the fellowship and just hanging out with other women and seeing other women have fun. What was one of the funny memories that you remember from Glisten?
Oh, I have a funny one. Heather Wright, if you're watching this, I love you, Heather Wright. Heather and I talk about this pretty often. Austin and I, my husband and I, were hosting Extravagant back in 2019, and we were up on the stage, and like the theme was like discos. Like everybody was like in their disco clothes, like their flared pants, and so I think we had played a game, and Heather was wearing skates. She had on like her flared pants out, but wearing
her wig.
Her wig. She had a big old wig. So she comes
wig.
up on stage, and if you know my husband, you know he's a great time. Like he just loves to have fun. So he's being harmless, like no ill intent in this, but she comes up on stage, and we had steps, so like they help her up the stage, and she gets up, and Austin was like, all right, Heather, show us how you can spin in those skates. And Heather like goes full out spinning, but busted. Like busted. She falls. We're terrified she's gonna take out the whole LED wall. We're like, and Austin's like feeling terrible. He's like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Y'all, she gets up and she just brushes it off. And she was like, I'm good. We obviously made sure she was okay first, but we look back and we laugh now. But not only was that funny, but it showed women that like it's okay to laugh. Like we can like fall, get back up, and just make jokes. Like not everybody is looking at you wishing that you would fall. Like it's not about that. It's just about having fun. So that was like a funny one that we look back. We're like, all right, Heather, don't wear skates to conference this year. Like we joke about it now. But Austin felt so bad. He was like, I feel terrible. Like he made sure Heather was okay like probably 100 times. So great. Yeah.
That is so awesome. Yeah, my memory is also from that year with all the disco theming. And so they at the after party, so I have two. So there was one at the after party of that year, there was Faith White, and we had a DJ booth on top of our photo booth.
Yes.
And there was the disco lights, and she was just challenging everyone to some dance-off disco, and it was so fun, and I was laughing so hard. Like, it was hilarious. But my other favorite memory is at the next day, the closer with all of our men's staff.
That was hilarious.
I forgot about that. Oh my
It was the Staying Alive closer where all of our like staff men are dressed up in disco.
They crushed it.
I mean, I just remember looking at Milan like I never knew you had this talent. He's over here picking his afro. Like it was hilarious. So I've definitely loved those moments for sure.
And I think that's what I love about Glisten. It's like it's unexpected. Like even as staff, when we sit in, like you don't know what's going to come next, but you know it's going to be great.
Yes.
Like, you know,
it's so good.
Well, we have some great surprises this year. So I really hope that every woman will come. I think that if you like a mother and a daughter, I've heard some good mother-daughter stories and from the past, and I know there's some mothers and daughters that are signed up to come together. It's just a great time to build a relationship with your friends in a fun environment, a safe environment where you know that you're going to have a great time. And honestly, fun is a ministry. Like fun ministers to our souls.
Yes.
So it's not all about the fun, but I mean the fun is ministry too.
Yes.
But when we step into that room next Friday night, I am just believing. I know the worship is going to be powerful. We have a guest worship leader that's going to come in that we haven't even announced yet. So we have a guest worship leader that's going to come in, and he's going to be singing along with us and leading us in worship. And then he'll actually be here all weekend, which is exciting. And then we have the most incredible speaker this year. We have Pastor Maria Durso, who she is the godmother of godmothers. Like Lisa Bevere is one of my favorite all-time authors.
Yes,
I love Lisa Bevere, and she is a godmother to Lisa Bevere. She's a godmother to many of the speakers and books of people that I love and admire and look up to. But she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a pioneer, and she has this testimony that you would never in a million years think that she had been through everything that she's been through. She's such a powerful woman that empowers women to be all that they can be for Jesus, really to step into their purpose. And she's also super passionate about prayer. And so I really want her to impart to us and teach us more about prayer, because I really feel like we're going to grow in that. But I'm so excited for her to come, because I'm just like, I won't even tell you guys. I wouldn't even tell y'all her testimony. Because I'm like, I want you to hear it from her, because it's so incredibly powerful. So I'm super excited about her being here and just what people are going to experience. I think salvations are going to happen. I'm believing that people are going to come to know Jesus. I believe that chains are going to fall off of people who have been held back by things in their life, from bondage, from sinful habits and just hang-ups that they've had. And I also really am excited and encouraged, because she's got a book called Ageless, and she'll be that'll be here actually for people if they want to purchase that book. But she talks about so many times we feel or at least I have felt like a late bloomer, like in life, like I would get things way later. Everybody else would already catch it. I'd get it way later. Well, she talks about how in Christ there is no age. Like God can use all of us no matter what age that we're at. And so maybe if there's women that come and they feel like, well, my season is up. Like God's done with me. No, God can use you. She's 71 years old, and God is using her in a powerful way.
Awesome.
Right.
So I'm so excited, and I like we're gonna have an incredible time. I promise you, you do not want to miss. Listen, next Friday, you can still get tickets. They're still available. We've had more people register pre than we've ever had.
Wow.
So I'm
So
really
exciting.
excited. That's like super exciting. So I'm excited to see you come. Maybe you want to bring, if you have another church, maybe you don't even go to our church. It's totally fine. We have lots of people coming from other churches that are just going to come hang out with us for that night.
Yeah.
But just want you to be here, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So maybe if you enjoyed this talk, you can share it. Share it with some people. Just hit that share button and tell them to come. Invite them to come. You can check it out. Get your tickets. It's going to be a blast. And remember, you get a free gift. Like, there's going to be a fun surprise free gift, and there'll be so many surprises you won't even believe it. But I really believe more than anything, people are going to experience the presence of God.
Yeah.
They're going to experience a touch from God, and they're going to hear God's word spoken, and He's going to do something significant and miraculous next Friday. So don't miss it.